Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Amazing Animals Inc. YouTube channel. I'm Brian, and I'm gonna take the lead for today's channel. Kylie's working the camera. She doesn't feel good. She doesn't have a voice. She can't talk really well. So I'm gonna do all the talking, and I figured if I was gonna do all the talking today, I was gonna do another tour of my beautiful little reptile house. Here we go. So to start out with, I think we didn't do a good job of talking about some decisions that we had to make at the end of 2021. The Florida Fish and Wildlife, who we are licensed through, made some really harsh new laws that are in place to protect our native ecosystem from more invasive species. But unfortunately, what they did was made it harder for people like us who follow the rules, who have licensing, who do educational content, to have certain animals, to travel with certain animals, and to exhibit certain animals. And with that, we made the really tough decision to move our iguanas and our big, beautiful Burmese pythons to another friend's facility outside of the state where they're gonna get used for programs where guests can actually touch and interact them. That was the biggest thing for me. We were allowed to keep our animals. We had to do some retrofitting to our exhibits. Our reptile house, we had to put a third door on, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But no guest could ever touch our Burmese pythons again. Basically, they had to be locked in an exhibit and no contact with the general public. And to me, I really felt like if we were gonna have these huge snakes, and I really enjoyed bringing them out and letting them meet guests, and they seemed to really enjoy it as well. I felt like just keeping them locked in a habitat just wasn't a good welfare for that animal. And because of the financial restraints that we were facing, having to totally retrofit and add catch cages and doors and entryways to buildings that our animals lived in, as well as bringing the iguana indoors versus him living outdoors is what we were gonna have to do, or build him a concrete jail cell. Looked awful. We moved them to a friend's facility who don't have to follow the same rules as the Florida Fish and Wildlife, and they are thriving up there. We're really excited, and they send us updates on them. They're doing amazing, but that caused us to kind of round robin and change a lot of things in our reptile house, and we got some new animals. Some animals we've adopted out to some other really good educational facilities. So today we're going to show you a lot of our new animals. Here we go. First and foremost, the Burmese python exhibits now have my mangrove monitor. This little guy was actually a pet of mine. I got early college years. I acquired him as a little baby before I ever ran Amazing Animals. He was one of my first reptiles that I got when I moved out of my parents' house. I had a lot of reptiles living in my parents' house, but he was one of the first. He's a small monitor. He's full grown, and I've hand raised him since he was about this big, and I absolutely love him. And he gets the Burmese python exhibit, so he has a huge area to play in, and he also loves to swim, so he gets the nice big pool of water, and he loves to soak and swim. He is an amazing dude. Hey, Bubba's. Hey. So he is such a good boy. This is a monitor species from Australia, and to this day, he still poops on me all the time. Whenever I bring him out, he has to poop. It's just his thing. He smells terrible now. Thanks a lot, buddy. But at least I didn't get it on me. I know how to hold him to where I don't get pooped on. But he is an amazing dude. I absolutely love him. Mangrove monitor from Australia. They are semi-aquatic. They live in the mangroves. Awesome dude. He eats ground chicken, ground turkey. He loves to eat mice and rats. And we even give him some hard-boiled eggs. And every now and then we give him some live animals like crickets and roaches to go hunt after. What are you doing? You want to go back on your perch? There you go. There you go. He's such a good boy. Now I got some cleaning to do. All right, so a new update that we have done when we played round robin with all of our reptiles. You'll remember this guy from our last video. This is probably my favorite reptile and has been on my life list of an animal that I've always wanted. And took a lot of work to get. He's way back here. There you go. Oh, you're shedding. Very, very, very milky, so he's blind right now. But this is probably my favorite reptile that I have. This is Blue, and he is my Eastern Indigo. And we have a special permit to have him, and he came to us from another state, so we actually had to get U.S. Fish and Wildlife permits to bring him into the state. By far my most favorite animal. Unfortunately, he is just about ready to shed. He's all milky and his eyes are all glossed over. So you can see those beautiful eye caps are going to come off there. He does really beautiful sheds. He's getting huge. These guys pound rats. And they grow really, really, really quick. And what's really cool is they're not a constrictor. They actually spend a lot of time in gopher tortoise burrows, and they've developed a way of actually biting their prey in the burrows and pulling them up, pinning them up against the walls, and eating their animals, killing them by crushing them by their strong jaws, not necessarily wrapping around them and squeezing them and squeezing out all the air. So they have a really advanced way of eating. Just a super beautiful animal. Unfortunately, you know, the pine flatwoods here in Florida is real estate where we have a lot of houses. It's dry, it's up. A lot of people don't want to put their houses and properties and farmland in the swamps, so they buy up all the pine flatwoods and they build. So these guys are losing their habitats in Florida. They're super protected. We're just not seeing that many of them, and we are very, very, very lucky to have him. And he goes to a lot of our Florida native animal shows. Whenever we do a show and it's about Florida native animals, we really love to bring this guy. He's an amazing ambassador for his species and just an absolute beautiful snake. I absolutely love him. Wish he wasn't in shed right now because you could see how beautiful he really is. All right, so Cypress, our cute little American alligator, is in here as well. Let's check him out. He's hiding on me. All right, so this is Cypress, and Cypress is a little tiny American alligator. Now we have a very special permit and a lot of experience to have these guys, and we use them as ambassadors, and they go to a lot of programs and shows with us. Now Cypress here, he actually came to us from our friends at Gatorland, and when he is about 3.5, 4 foot long, he's gonna go back to Gatorland because he'll live out his days there. He's never been in the wild. He doesn't know how to survive in the wild, and we absolutely love being able to bring him and teach kids about alligators. Unfortunately, there's over 1 million alligators here in Florida, and the most reason why they have to be destroyed by the state is because they turn into nuisance alligators. And the only reason why they become nuisance alligators is because of things that humans do to them. Unfortunately, people think it's really cool to feed wild animals. When you feed an animal like an alligator, you're training that animal to come up to you and expect food. And if you don't have food, that's when you become a dangerous alligator and humans can become food. So please, 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 no matter where you live, don't feed wild animals, especially alligators here in Florida. Next up, we got our big pine snake. Now this guy can be a little intimidating. He likes to show off a lot. Pine snakes have really big attitudes, and that helps keep them safe in the wild. Oh yeah, we hear you, we hear you. So this is our great big pine snake. It's a Florida pine snake. Super unique species from the pine flatwoods here in Florida. They live in the same place that our Eastern Indigo lives in. And he is an awesome dude, huge big boy, and really cool. They actually can climb pine trees. They have really unique scales that are super, super rough, and it helps them curl around a pine tree and climb it. He's almost 7 foot, Probably one of the bigger snakes we have here in Florida. Our eastern indigo is actually one of the biggest. They can get about 8 feet long. And this guy is going to be about 7 feet when he's topped out. Super beautiful species. I love the little tip of their nose. They have a little tiny beak there. Really unique feature. Doesn't look like any other snake here in Florida.
All right, so this is Randall, the blue-tongued skink. He is one of my favorites, and we got him as an ex-pet, so that's how we started with all the reptiles. A lot of people get things like this and don't realize, a lot of them are going to get big and live like 20, 30 years, so he has quite a big commitment to have him as a pet. So we love to be here to take him in and be able to teach people. Randall comes to pretty much all of my school programs and meets a lot of our guests here as well. So this is a northern blue tongue found in Indonesia. They're also in Australia, and he just hangs out here with us, eats pretty much everything. Really fun personality, and a very interesting lizard too. So he's got that beautiful kind of shiny, sleek scales, kind of like a snake, but with those cute little arms and legs. He really likes to burrow and just hide under the mulch most of the time. We'd love to feed him ground turkey, eggs, bugs, fresh fruits and veggies, and he does have a blue tongue. Let's see if we'll stick it out a little bit. You gonna show him your tongue, bud? Oh, there it is.
Alrighty guys, thank you so much for checking us out today. We really hope you enjoyed it. We absolutely love our reptiles, at least I do. We started out as a reptile rescue, and it's just kind of grown and grown and grown from there. So these reptiles all have a very, very, very special place in my heart.
And I love the reptiles too, but I do also have to say, coming up here, we got World Joffrey Cat Day, which are my favorites. And I have a t-shirt fundraiser going on right now, so check out our Facebook.
Not that shirt, but a different one.
This is last year's. We're going to have Aries on this year's t-shirt. It's super cute. And we're trying to get a goal of 100 shirts sold, which will be over $1,000 that we can raise to get to the Feline Conservation Foundation, which is also going to give to the Joffrey Cat Working Group.
Down in South America. It's pretty awesome
stuff.
Check
out our Facebook to look at a t-shirt, and if you buy it now, it'll get here by the time Joffrey Cat Day is. If you want to wait a little bit later, it'll get here.
Hopefully Kylie feels better for Joffrey Cat Day.
Yeah, I need my voice to come back. Hopefully I didn't sound too bad today.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. We really appreciate it. As always, go out there, do something amazing.